Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Chuck, and I've been shooting quite a bit from the house and sitting in the van lately, and it's a nice afternoon, so I thought I'd get out and try to shoot one out here in the wild. So I'm on a little back road out west of town a ways, and the weather's pretty nice today. There's a little wind. I hope it isn't messing with the video too much. But today I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about the Bigfoot subject again. But before I do that, I want to give you a little pan and kind of show you where I'm at. So let me pan off here. We're looking off toward the Madison Wilderness area. And if you look it up on the map, it's spelled Mazatzal, but the local pronunciation is Madison. I know I'm kind of shooting off to the sun, the nature of the time of day it is. That mountain right in the center there, that's called North Peak. It's a little over 7,000 feet. And back over here you can see the road heading on out in the distance there. You might be able to see that little S-curve out in the distance. But that goes down to the East Verde River. The East Verde River starts north and east of town and passes north of town and ends up flowing east to west and flows right through that gap in the mountains over there, and ends up tying into what we call the Big Verde, which is the main Verde River, which flows down toward the Metro Phoenix area. So it's a pretty area, nice view as you can see. The road's actually paved out here. There's a section of it that's not paved, but this section out here is paved. And the reason why is because there's what they call an inholding of private land. It's an old ranch out there, and they originally were going to put in a high-end equestrian development out there. I guess high-end equestrian means rich people with horses. But that fell victim to the economy crash in 2008. I actually did a little bit of consulting work for them as to how they were going to handle emergency services. But what I want to talk to you today is I want to talk a little bit more about the Bigfoot subject. So I'm going to spin this around so that I can talk to you. So once again, if you haven't watched my four earlier videos on the subject, I also did a fifth video, and that was to talk about my friend John. That's an interesting one to watch as well. But if you want to understand where I'm coming from on this video, it's best to watch those other four first, because this is going to kind of pick up where they left off. And I'm going to talk a little bit about culture and some of the things that we've run into in dealing with the forest people or the Sasquatch people. So first of all, out in this area, by the way, there is a family group that lives out here. I've actually had contact with a female named Allman, and she told me she's 47 years old, and I had quite a conversation with her out here one day. I don't know how many's in the family group. I've only had contact with her once, but she actually told me a little bit about other family groups that live around our area. There's actually 3 of them. And I've had contact with all 3 of them, and I've gotten names from all 3 of them. Kind of sporadic contact, but like I say, for the most part, they're surprised when they find out somebody knows they're there. And my partner and I both run into that in the respective places where we live at. But let me talk a little bit about their culture. They're a very proud people. As I've said before, sorry about the noise from that sand buggy going by. They're a very proud people. They operate a lot like a First Nations Indian tribe. They're very proud of who they are. They live longer than we do, so they're on the planet longer than we are. And so they, some of them are not, some of them don't like us much, and they won't talk to us. But quite a few times, once they realize that you're okay, they will speak with you, and they will contact with you as long as they know that you're not a hazard to them, or you're not a danger to their young or anything like this, and you're not going to try to take their picture. We promised them a long time ago that we would never try to take their picture because they don't like that. We don't know why. But a couple of little experiences that we had. One was actually over near the Sholo area. There's a lady that lives over there that I've been dealing with now for, this is the 4th year. And she's been on her property for over 15 years, and she's had activity there. And my partner and I went over there and helped her understand what was happening, because she had no idea what was going on, and we kind of opened her eyes. Since that's happened, she's had all kinds of stuff happen. But one event I want to tell you about today that kind of gave us a glimpse into their culture. And I went over there to visit with her, and this wasn't last summer, summer before last. And she's got acreage over there, so I was camped out on her property, and she come over and sits out in the evening with me. And we had them come in to visit us. And one of them that came in that we met quite a while ago is a young female named Naya. And Naya had a baby. And that was one of the first things that we experienced, was the whole process of that, because that's a big deal for them. And they kind of gave us a little glimpse into that when she had her baby. And they actually gave my friend over there, they actually gave her a vision of the whole birthing process and how their relatives come from a long ways away to be there for the birth. And it's like I say, it's a pretty big deal in their culture. Well, the next summer we were over there, and one night we were sitting out, and we had them come in and visit us, and so we were asking them out, are you folks that we know? And well, it turned out Naya was there. And she was pretty excited that we knew that she was there. And so I asked her, I said, well, hi, Naya, thank you for coming to visit with us, and how's your baby? And boy, when I said that, they absolutely shut us off. They wouldn't talk to us. They left. There was absolutely nothing. And I didn't know what happened. I thought maybe the baby had died or something. I didn't know. I don't know anything about their infant mortality rate or anything like that. I don't know about their growth rate. We think right now that they mature at roughly the same rate that we do. However, they just live a lot longer. But anyway, so I felt really bad. Obviously something had happened and I didn't know what it was. And well, that night after I went to bed, I got woke up in the middle of the night by an elder, and very stern. And what he told me very clearly in mind speak, he said, in our culture, asking questions about family is considered to be pushy, rude, and intrusive. And those were the three words he used: pushy, rude, and intrusive. So, so I apologized. I said, we didn't know that. And so I've been pretty careful about trying not to ask questions about family. Of course, in our culture, that's considered polite. You're wondering about somebody, you ask them how their wife and kids are doing. Well, in their culture, you don't do that. At least we don't do that. So I've been pretty careful trying not to do that. I've even been pretty careful not asking them their age, because I don't want to come across as being pushy. I already do. They get aggravated at me once in a while for asking too many questions, and they've told me that, and they told me I need to be patient. But that was one little episode that kind of gave us a glimpse into their culture. I want to tell you about another one. This one was, hopefully the story won't run too long because it's kind of a complicated story. We had an elder that we knew, and we were kind of, I guess, summoned, if you will, or we got the idea put in our head that we needed to go to this place we call Crazy Town, and that something was going to happen over there and that we needed to go there. And that wasn't just me. It was me and my partner, Kevin, and we called the other two guys in our core group, Rob and Wayne, and the four of us went over to Crazy Town. And the first night that we were there, we had quite a bit of activity, and they told us that the next night something big was going to happen. And so we didn't know what that was. We were pretty excited about it. And so the next night came around, and right after dusk, just about the time they start showing up, all of a sudden we realized there was a lot of them there. And by a lot of them, I mean a lot of them. Probably 30 to 40 cloaked forest folks, and they're standing all around us. Well, they made the process a very formal notification process, telling us that one of their elders had died. And I immediately asked, I said, I don't want to I don't want to be pushy, but can I ask what happened? And they came back and they said it was just his time. So then I asked, well, how old was he? He was 225. Well, then, right after they said that, they opened up and allowed us, all four of us, to feel their collective grief. That was a totally overwhelming experience. This particular one was my partner Kevin's teacher, and they opened up the grief to him. And Kevin's a pretty tough guy. He's an ex-combat veteran, ex-biker, and he started bawling like a baby. And he was pretty embarrassed about it. He got up and walked away from the rest of us. But they opened up and let all four of us feel their collective grief, and it was totally overwhelming. It's an experience I can't even hardly relate. I can't put words to it. But they didn't do it for very long, maybe 30 seconds. But they had a very formal process of how they notified us of it. There's another vehicle going by. Sorry about the noise. This is it's Sunday afternoon, January 29th. And it's a nice day. We got another weather system coming in tonight. We might get some more snow. So there's a lot of people out going for a Sunday afternoon drive. That's one of the reasons I'm out here. But anyway, they let us feel their collective grief, and they made it a point to officially notify us that this individual elder had passed away. And that was an absolutely incredible experience. It's something you can't really relate unless you've been there, unless you've felt that and experienced that. So that's just a couple little glimpses into their culture. We asked them that night. We asked them. There's the area over there by Crazy Town. There's two family groups there. There's a mountain on either side, and there's a family group lives on each mountain. And we asked them which family group it was, and they told us that both of them were there. And they were standing about 3 feet apart, and we could see them. They were all cloaked, but we could see them pretty plainly. The light conditions were such, and all four of us could see them, and all four of us experienced the grief. So it's not something that it's not something I dreamed up in my head. Didn't make it up. It happened. Can't really explain it unless you've been there. But I think for this, I don't know how long this is. I've got it aimed the wrong way. I can't see the timer. So I think I'm going to kind of let it go for now, and I'll do another one. But the whole Sasquatch People thing is, as I've said before, it's amazing. Watch my other 3 videos. Take from it what you will, whether you want to believe me or not, that's fine. But for now, I'm going to let you go. I'll tell you as I always do, take care of each other, love each other. It's a beautiful day, temperature in the mid-40s, and I'm going to pan around so I can find the button, and I'll tell you so long for now, and I'll get back with you soon.